Hello everybody, Nemesis VR here, and in today's video I am going to tell you guys how to do more damage in The Thrill of the Fight 2. Now some of you guys may remember, if you're a regular viewer of mine, that I made a video like this a few months ago, but that was with the V3 damage system. And now we are currently on the V5 damage system, so there has been some major changes in, what works and what doesn't. Anyways, with all of this out of the way, let's get right into today's video. Now, I have some footage to start off this video of me on the training dummy, basically, showing you guys how I inflict more damage with my punches consistently, and all sorts of other tips and tricks that might help you guys actually maximize how much damage you can do per punch. So I'm going to show you guys that footage right now. Okay, so to start off, to do more damage, you gotta know a few things. Now, one, obviously, have your arms calibrated at the proper lengths, alright? My arms are actually a little bit shorter, but that's completely fine. Just basically, have your arms calibrated at the proper length, and also be at your proper height. And now another thing to mention is, in the V5 update, speed isn't as important as it used to be. Now, in the V4 update, it was all dependent on speed. The faster you could throw a punch, the more damage it would do. Now, as you can see here, that was 12.74 meters per second velocity speed, but the force only did 42 damage, right? So speed isn't as important as what it used to be. Now, keep in mind, on V4, if it was 12.74 meters per second, it would have done like 55 damage, but now it only does 42. Now, another thing to mention is precision is more important. Precision and strength and accuracy with your punches is more important than speed, but speed is still important. So let's say I throw a cross at this dummy and I hit it in the face, right? That was with, low speed, but as you can see, I did the same amount of damage on its chin that I did with a 12-meter punch to its head. I did even arguably more damage with a slow punch to the chin that was still hard, right? But now when you actually go a little bit faster, you see what I mean? 42.19, which that's a little low for me, but I'm not really trying right now. Another thing to mention is keep yourself moving when you're throwing punches. Keep yourself moving left and right, back, forward, up, down, whatever. And then throw your punches. So if you're going for a liver shot, move into it, as you can see here. You go for an uppercut to the chin. Move into it, as you can see here, right? Overhead. Move into it. That was a horrible one, but you get my point. If you punch, you want to move into it. And another thing to know about inflicting more damage, you have a few centers to hit people with that are critical areas. You got the nose right there, you got the chin right there, you got the temple somewhere here, temple right here, temple right here, you got the liver right there, the solar plexus is somewhere right here. You have all these spots that you can inflict multiple sources of damage in. So what you want to do is hit hard and accurate and decently fast. And also remember combos. I know a lot of people are like, oh, everybody knows about combos, Nemesis, but a lot of people forget. A good combo to set up a lot of time is straight to the face, somewhere to the body, right? And it doesn't matter if you lead with the face, cross to the body, or uppercut to the body after a lead hand or whatever. Just make sure that, that second punch in a combo is hard hitting. Because if it isn't, you're wasting your time. Another good thing to note is counter punching. Now, if you don't know, counter punching in this game does more damage. Now, let's imagine this dummy is throwing a hook at me from this direction. The hook's coming at me. I dive under it, counter with a right hook. Now, that was a horrible one because I didn't get a good hit on it. But let's do it again. Duck under the hook, counter with our own hook. And you see what I mean? Now, that's doing 62 damage with me just punching it normally. Imagine how much more damage that will do if you get counterpunch damage added to it. And then that's just, that's how you get, around the hook spammers, people who are only throwing hooks. You just duck under, move your heads around it, and if you're just dodging the punches, and then you land a solid punch back, you're going to get counterpunch damage, which is a very important and necessity in Thrill of the Fight 2. Another thing to point out is, don't hook spam. You're not going to get anywhere with it. And I'm going to show you why. I'm going to start hook spamming the dummy here. And I'm going to show you why it doesn't work. You see? It just doesn't work. Why would you want to do 35 to 45 damage with every punch when you could average 55 to 65 per punch? You see what I mean? That was a horrible one, but you get my point. You get my point. Hook spamming doesn't work. Now, another thing to know is about catching your punches at the right distance. So let's say I throw a punch at him and I'm about this far away and I punch him in the nose. 45 damage in the nose, right? But now let's say I'm at the proper distance and I get a proper shot at his nose from a proper length away. You see? 61 damage. And that's because I was at the proper distance, at the right length, with an accurate shot to his face. Now, I hope you guys learned a few things from that footage of me on the training dummy, and I hope you guys were able to metabolize some of the things I was telling you. Now, I actually have footage of a Thrill of the Fight 2 match where I was actually able to implement some of the things I was talking about. So I will show you guys that footage right now. Sorry to interrupt the video you guys were just watching, but I have a very big announcement to make. I have made my own league in Thrill of the Fight 2. I present to you all the Underground Fighting Circuit, a league that primarily hosts open weight fights. That way anyone can fight anyone. Not to mention, there are almost no rules at all, meaning almost anything you can think of is allowed. Some of the best players in Thrill of the Fight 2 will be competing in this server, so even if you don't want to be a fighter in this league, there is a guarantee that almost every fight you watch will be entertaining. When we reach at least 50 server members, we will be hosting an open weight tournament that will be streamed in the official Underground Fighting Circuit Discord server and will be re-uploaded to the UGFC YouTube channel. Links to all of the Underground Fighting Circuit social media pages and the Discord server will be in the description of this video, on the screen, and in the pinned comments as well. If you feel like you have something to prove, or you want to become one of the best Thrill of the Fight 2 players of all time, join the Underground Fighting Circuit and fill out a fight application for a chance at doing just those things. Hopefully, I see some of you guys in the ring very soon. Now, obviously, we start off this fight. Obviously, my opponent is a little shorter than me, but that doesn't really make a difference. The advice I gave on how to do more damage is applicable to anyone of any height. Now, we start off this fight, started off with a glove touch, you know, you gotta be respectful. He gets his guard up, I get my Philly shell guard up, I start off with a punch to the body, and then I start throwing some crazy haymakers and hooks just to disorient him a little bit. Now, as you can see, I'm applying pressure to him, you know, using my reach to my advantage a bit. You can see me moving my head to counter punch, and boom, got the knockdown. Now, we're going to break down how I got this knockdown, because it was actually a little bit hard to see. So I started off with that uppercut right through his guard, sniping his chin, and then I followed it up with this left hook to the temple that you could barely see. Now, this was, you know, added counterpunch damage, because he threw 2 or 3 punches, and I countered him, and that, you know, increased the damage I did. Now, we start off, he's getting back up after getting knocked down. He's obviously a bit frustrated here, as you can see. He has his arms down still. I went for another cross to the body. He's dodging it a bit. As you can see, he's got his own head movement going on as well, but it's obviously not as good as mine, as I landed another counter punch on him. Now, when somebody is stunned like that and their face is like that, don't let off the gas pedal. Keep going at them. Keep applying pressure. Now, we got a clinch separation somehow. That's fine. Now, he's getting low. He's dropping his guard every time he goes for a punch. That's something you never want to do. Now, he's getting a few shots on me there, but they're nothing significant. And as you can see, I'm counter-punching and I'm still doing more damage than him. And as you can see, that stun went away pretty fast, but it doesn't matter, that damage was still there. See, stunned him again. And boom, dropped him again. Now we're going to break down what I did. I threw a bit of a weird punch here. It was a bit of a cross to his liver. I was trying to go for a solar plexus, but I landed on the liver because he was turning his body just as good, and then he rage quit. Anyways, that is going to be it for today's video. If any of these tips helped you increase your damage in Thrill of the Fight 2, let me know by leaving a comment down below. And if you guys want to see more content in the future, let me know by liking the video and subscribing to the YouTube channel, and leaving a comment letting me know what types of content you would like to see next from my channel. Anyways, this has been Nemesis VR, and I'll see you guys all later.